Kill confirmed in Black Ops 2 is very similar to what it was in Modern Warfare 3, where of course it was introduced by Infinity Ward. It was actually a very welcome introduction, and that, in that game the domination mode wasn't very good, and Kill confirmed luckily replaced that for me in the mode that I prefer the most. In Black Ops 2, I don't know. The first 2 games of Kill Confirmed were very fun, or the first 3 that I've only played 3 so far, and that might be a very one-sided opinion, but they were pretty fun. But I also like Domination, that's also pretty good in Black Ops 2. It's exactly like it's always been, except you sort of switch sides. It doesn't matter, that's not what this video is about. But Kill Confirmed, basically the way you play it is you kill enemies, and then they drop their dog tags, and you collect the dog tags, and the first team to collect 75 dog tags wins the game. It's basically how it works. Pretty simple. The scores are different than they were in Modern Warfare 3, but of course it's not really comparable because the experience system and so on is different. So Black Ops 2, for a kill, I believe you get... oh god, I don't want to mess this up, I'll check quickly. Okay, so for a kill you get 50 experience, and for picking up an enemy dog tag you get 100. If a teammate picks up an enemy dog tag that you killed the enemy, so if you kill an enemy and your teammate picks up the dog tag of that enemy, you get 25 points. If you collect your own dog tag, as far as I can tell, it's 50 points. And if you collect your teammates' dog tags, you get 25 points. In terms of how much score you get per minute, I'm ranked 600 in the world, and I only get around 460. So it's not it's not that good, but it's also not too bad. It's basically up there with all the other modes, the domination and so on. I actually made a video recently that talked about which one's the best one. Go to my channel, look at it, whatever, if you're interested. So Kill Confirmed, if you don't know what it is, it's basically like playing Team Deathmatch, except that it's a little bit like Domination, so everyone's a bit more aggressive, they try to get the dog tags and they move around a bit more. If you've ever played Team Deathmatch, it's very much... unfortunately, it's very much people sitting behind cover and waiting, and that's not me saying that those people are playing the game wrongly, but I think it's a problem with the game mode. I don't really like that kind of game mode, so that's why I don't tend to play it. But Kill Confirmed gives a reason to sort of move away from cover and pick up the dog tags, because otherwise you lose. And yeah, sitting behind cover waiting for enemies to come around is actually the best way to play Team Deathmatch, and that's just not something I like to play. It's not a judgment on the game type itself, I'm sure that people love it, plenty of people play it, but yeah, it's just not for me. So yeah, Kill Confirmed, basically, to sum it up, it's basically Domination mixed with Team Deathmatch, with a heavier focus on Team Deathmatch. Of course in Domination you get to kill other people as well. Some interesting elements come into Kill Confirmed you might not expect. You know, you think, oh, you kill someone and you collect a dog tag and so on, and then kill the next person, but you can actually use the dog tags as bait to get enemies to go somewhere where you want them to go, so you can shoot 2 or 3 of them instead of just collecting 1. And the other thing you have to keep in mind is that if you go out of your way to collect a dog tag, you have to think about whether the risk of getting shot is fairly great, and if it is, can you collect more than 1 dog tag? Because if you pick up 1 dog tag and then let the enemy pick up 1 dog tag off you because you died, you haven't really gained anything, you've just pushed up the score. I mean, there's still some benefit in that you're getting towards the end of the game, and that's always good. These games can drag on a fair amount, especially if your team is a little bit slower. But especially if you are losing, then a 1-for-1 trade isn't the right thing to do. If you're winning by a lot, I wouldn't really mind about, you know, exchanging dog tags like that, because it's just about getting the game done or whatever. But if you need dog tags badly and you need to win and you're behind, then it's better not to risk taking a dog tag, not to risk give away a dog tag by taking one. In terms of how to do well on it, you just have to be careful because you don't really know where enemies are. I mean, you can sort of tell where they are based on the minimap, you know, where your teammates are, they probably aren't, and where the red dots are, they probably are. Although, I don't know, it's kind of, you know, enemies can still be near where your teammates are, and enemies can also be using silencers, so the red dots don't really give a good indication, and also the red dots are slightly delayed. I think that's, I don't know if that's intentional, but that's been the same in Black Ops as well, where the dots in the minimap are slightly delayed. So don't use it as a definite guide, but it just as an indication of where enemies are and where they probably aren't. So when you're fairly sure that there are any enemies around, you don't really need to worry about sprinting, but especially if you're in an area where you're unsure, you have to be careful with where you go. Think about if there's any areas that overlook where you're about to go that give good cover to enemies, or if they're likely to be there. Because if you're out of cover and there's enemies in cover, you know, it's gonna end up with you being in their kill feed. In terms of shooting other people, I don't know. It depends on what gun you use, obviously. I'm using a Vector. Well, anyway, I don't know what it's called in this game, but it's basically a Vector in this game, in this gameplay or whatever. And the strategy that I'm finding good is running around and being a bit more aggressive, so that they get intimidated and sort of slow down and unsure of themselves, and that means that you can apply even more pressure, and then they tend to make stupid mistakes, as you can probably see. I mean, this isn't indicative of what I usually do, right? This is a cherry-picked game. Well, it's one of 3, to be honest. None of them were too bad, but obviously this isn't how every one of my games is. I found it surprisingly easy to get score streaks, because they just build and build and build on each other, because you throw whatever your hunter-killer drone, and then they get a kill, and you go collect a dog tag, and you go up to your counter spy plane. That's what I'm using, and then you get assist points, which gets you back to this normal spy plane, and that just keeps rolling. And at some stage in this game, actually, that happens quite badly, where I just keep getting more and more and more kill streaks, and that is that's pretty fun. And I haven't really found another mode where that's possible to build up score streaks like that. So overall, I like Kill Confirmed. You have to be careful though, because people do tend to play a little bit slower, and if your teammates aren't being very aggressive, these games can drag on a while. And also, the Kill Confirmed isn't the best way to get experience fast. In fact, the best one is Hardpoint, but it is fairly good. They give you about 400 score per minute, 450, 460 score per minute, which is very decent. So I like the game mode. I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but it's definitely a contender. So I want to thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, this game is very close to finish, but I'm just going to cut to the finish, and then, because there's no real point in you sitting there watching until the end, nothing really important happens. But yeah, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time. Actually, it looks like the game is basically over, so there you go, don't need to cut to the end.